Hello and welcome back to my channel. We're here for round 2 of the construction video of the National Scrapbook Day 2021 project. I messed up considerably on the first one, so we're going to do it again. So this is the project. You can see the walkthrough video previously posted on my YouTube channel. I'll also have a link in the description box below. So let's get started. We're going to keep that book close because I'm going to need it to reference. We're going to get all of our supplies, which will be listed in the description box below, so you don't have to ask me where the cutting guide is. It is in the post in this video. Okay, so we're going to keep all of our pieces handy. We are going to start with piece A. You're going to put tape on one of the dented sides and both of the bumpy sides. Okay, so you got 2 pieces. Okay, so you're going to put those together with your 2 dented sides facing each other. Okay, so then you're going to just, I'm not getting that lined up real well. Okay, and then you're going to peel the tape and you're going to put those 2 pieces together. So you have those 2 pieces with the dented sides facing each other, okay? So then you're going to fold on all of your score lines and burnish. Okay. Burnish. This one I might struggle with. My piercer, or my stylus jumped off the track. So far, so good. Okay, so give all of your score lines that fold and burnish. Okay, and if you like this project, I have 2 other ones, the same, not the same, they're different, but the same basic construction. So the part that we're doing right now is the same for all of them, and they are also the same size. So we maybe one day will do a box or something like that to kind of keep a few in. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so now you have your A pieces constructed, put together. Okay, so now you're going to take, there's a piece of Tyvek, and you don't have to use Tyvek. You can use packing tape, you could use any kind of anything that's not going to rip. It's just to add a little stability to your spine. Okay, I just need to trim off a hair. So I'm just gonna walk away for a second and trim off a tiny little bit off of this piece. You have to watch because everything is not always a true 8.5 by 11. I have learned that the hard way. Okay, so just line that up so that you are kind of centered on both, like you have the same amount on the front and the same amount on the back. Okay. Oh, that's crooked. And if my head's in the way, I apologize. Okay, so I'm just going to hold half of that and I'm going to peel the tape off the other half and just slowly stick that down. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip it around and give it a little burnish. Get that right in there, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to peel the tape off, whoops, the other half and do the same, just slowly, and then give it a burnish so that it's stuck, just like that. Okay, and then you will have to re-burnish your score lines, okay, because that's gonna kind of tighten up a little bit. So just give them a little fold again, just like so. Oopsie. And if you really wanted to, you could reinforce this one too with a piece of Tyvek as well, but I'm not gonna. That's fine. Okay, so there you have your spine. Okay, and everything. So now you're gonna put that together and you're going to just taper. I use 3/8 inch tape here. So you're just gonna taper from the edge of your tape a little bit in. It doesn't have to be very much. There's no particular, it's just so that your page goes on better, see? Okay, so there's your front. Keep all of our garbage over there, and you're gonna fight with it for a little bit once you get some weight in there. Okay, so I'll set that off to the side, and you're gonna grab your B and C pieces. B has nothing, C has 2 score lines. Okay, you're gonna fold and burnish on those. Okay, fold and burnish. And I hope this video stays short, but with my luck, it's not gonna. Like I said, this is round 2. I've already attempted this once and it did not go well, so I started it again. Okay, so you're going to place everything, and this is how I like to do it because I cannot peel the tape and then place. So this is how I like to do it. Okay, so just like that. Okay, and then you slide your hand over. And you're going to put a little pressure on there. You want it to be fairly firm. You don't want anything to slide. Give it another burnish, and that gives you that the tape a nice hold. Okay, so now you're going to bring back in your book. Okay, open it up. And this little flap is where that page is going to go. Okay, so we're going to dry fit. I like to dry fit everything, just to make sure that we don't need to do any trimming, because if you need to do any trimming, now will be the time. Okay, so there it fits just perfect. So now we're going to just peel a little bit back, slide that over top again, get it in the right place, like so. Okay, and then just push down. And then slowly peel and push a little bit more so that nothing slides. Just like that. Okay, give that a burnish. Okay, then flip it over and use a tool if you can't get your fingers in there to peel the rest of that back. And then what I like to do is lift it up and push a little. Get that to stick, and then fold it over and give it a burnish. Okay, like that. So there's your page. There's your basic construction right there. Okay, just like so. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside again and work on adding our pieces. So the first thing we're going to do is the insert for this piece right here, okay? So you're going to take your D piece, which only has 1 score line, so it's easy. Fold, burnish, flip it over, okay? And then you want your score to be on the left. I have to remember which is my left and right. So then you're going to take piece E, which has 1 score line, fold, burnish, and taper. Okay, so you're going to taper just like I did on the other, from your tape up. Just give it a slight angle. It just hides, when you mat your project, it just hides the construction of your page. Okay, so then you're going to fold that over, and you're going to put E, and D's upside down, you're going to put E on top of D so that those score lines are kissing. Okay, so they're going to be side by side, the 2 score lines, okay? Just like that. Same thing, lift it up, peel a little bit, stick it down, and then peel the rest. Slowly. Because, believe me, things have been known to move, which is why we are on round 2 of this video. Okay, so there you have it. I'll show you where this goes, but then I'm going to take it out, I think, because it flips around and it gets in the way. Okay, so that's just going to slide in there like that, and it creates another page, kind of. Okay, so we're going to take that out and just set that aside because we're not going to need that for a little while. So now you're going to take F, and you're going to see that some of them are folded because, again, we are on round 2. So you have your F, 2 F pieces. Okay, they both have score lines. There's 2 score lines. You have a gusset. Okay, one of them, you're going to flip it over. Okay, and you're going to draw your lines. On the side that has the gusset, you're going to draw your line in. Depending on the ruler you have, you can use a clear ruler. I found this one, Martha Stewart, and it is a 3-inch ruler, so it's perfect. I got it for that reason and that reason alone. Anyway, you're going to draw a line in 1 5/8, which is 1 little tick mark past the 1 1/2. On the 3 sides that do not have a score line, you're going to draw a line at 1 inch. Okay, so then we're going to bring in our fancy Stampin' Up! Cutter trimmer because it makes this so much easier. And I should change my blade, but I'm not going to this time. So for the first one, I'm just going to line up the pencil mark, and I apologize if my head is in the way. I'll move. Okay, you're going to line up that pencil mark, and then you're going to just cut from, you're just going to cut out that box, not all the way. Okay, so the rest of them, you can just line up at 1 inch. I'm sorry, again, if my head is in the way. Okay, and then you can just do the same thing. Cut. That's why those lines, you could just use the trimmer and cut, but I draw the lines because it gives me a little bit of a guideline because you can't always see the little measurement marks here. So just line up and cut from between those 2 lines. Okay. And if you're not quite right on, that's fine. It's just a guideline. Okay, so just like that, cut. We may have a visitor jump up here. My cats are up here bothering me. Okay, you might have to trim, set that out of your way. And then you might have to trim with your scissors. I get a little scared that I'm gonna cut it right off. So I tend to stop short with a trimmer. Ta-da! Okay, just like, nope, that one's got a trim. There. Okay, so just like that. So then you have, and you're cutting off your F, so if you want to draw it somewhere else. So now you're going to take the bigger of the acetate pieces that you have, and mine gets so covered in stuff because it's so staticky. Just like that. I guess it's better than, okay, and I, again, dry fit, like so. It's good there, so I'm just going to lift and peel 1 strip here, and then I can lift and peel the rest, just so that I know that it's in the right spot. Okay, so just push that, get that good push in there. Or burnish, I guess, sorry. Okay, and then lift up the rest, and you can peel the rest. Nothing is going to go anywhere now. It shouldn't twist on you at all. Because I'm on video and I want to keep it short, nothing is going to go my way. The last video I did that took over an hour took 9 hours to upload. I don't want that, but I guess I have no plans today, so I guess it's not a big deal. Like I said, this is the National Scrapbook Day project. There we go. So fold and burnish your score lines. National Scrapbook Day 2021. I had originally said that in the beginning of my first video, but I forgot to say it. The beginning of this video. Ooh, that score line is not being very nice. I may have to revisit that one. Okay, give it a burnish. I'm going to flip that over and burnish it again. It looks like this one might be a little bit. Okay, so there you have your window. So we are going to put a pocket. I forgot to cut the pocket. Oh, there goes this video getting long again. So we are going to set this aside. Go grab us a piece of paper. I'm sorry, everyone. Look up what the measurement is. Okay, so there's our paper. We're going to cut it. My apologies. The measurements will all be in the cutting guide, I promise. Now I gotta get everything out of my way. So here is a look at all the pieces while I'm scoring this one. Here I thought I was gonna be all ready. That's kind of what happened in the last video too, which is what took so long. So this one's probably gonna be long too. It's a good thing you guys can pause. Okay, get this all back out of the way. Okay, so this is where you see, I like to have, this is why you see that I like to have everything prepped. Okay, your tape goes on the dented side. And I believe this is piece J. And I don't put tape on that inside of that little square. I just go from score line to score line because you're going to cut it off anyway. So this is my way of saving a tiny little bit of tape. Okay. Tape. Give your tape a burnish. Okay, just like so. See all this pet hair up here because they like to sit up here. Somebody will come visit us, I'm sure, before this video is over. Okay, you're gonna miter between, or not between, sorry, right across those score lines, right across the X, excuse me. Just like so. Okay, and then you're gonna fold and burnish. Okay. Whoops, and then we'll inspect. I always forget to tell everybody to inspect because I have learnt over the last, I guess, year where to cut. So see how there's no interference there and they pop up just like that? If they didn't pop up like that, you would just take a sliver off again. Okay, so there's those pieces. That piece out of there. Okay, so you're going to bring back in your F pieces and our G pieces. We're going to put those together before we put the pocket on, just so that we can make sure, because you've got one that mirrors another. Okay, so you're going to take your G pieces, and again, these are already done. You're going to score, or fold and burnish and taper, fold and burnish and taper. Okay, so then you're going to bring back in your F pieces, okay, and your J piece, and I'm just going to consult here. Okay, so you're going to put the one that doesn't have, you're going to keep those two, the J pocket and the F piece together. So you're going to take the other F piece, okay, you're going to flip it around so that your score line is to the right, okay, and you're going to pop that right on top of G. You want that 1/2 inch score line right at the edge. So your gusset, make sure your gusset is, you can see it. You want to see your gusset, okay? Okay, so then you can start peeling your tape. We're going to fight with this because, just because. Okay, and then you want to just make sure that your gusset is down and that you can see it, because your gusset will pucker so that it's not the right, okay? Okay, so there's one. Okay, so that's like that. Okay, and the other one, you're going to flip it so that it mirrors, okay? So we're going to take and put F on, okay, so that it mirrors. So your gussets are going to be together, facing each other on the inside, okay? Oh, we got to taper that. I almost forgot again. Okay, so just taper from your tape over. Okay, so you want to see your score line, your gusset, not your score line, right on top, right at the very cut edge. Okay, you want to see your score line, okay? So then just bring that up and peel a little bit, not much. Okay, and then slowly work your way down. Okay, don't push too hard because you will rip that backing. Okay, so there you have your G, okay? So this here, okay, so you're gonna open the one that's got the window. Let's just make sure we have those the right way. Yeah, okay, you're gonna open your window. Sorry, get everything out of the way here. Open your window and place your pocket, okay? So your pocket is going to go right along that cut edge, okay? You will have a little space, okay, right along the cut edge. You're going to have a little space between the gusset and your pocket, okay? So just slowly peel, just like that. Okay, then you can peel back this other side. This is where the video we had to redo. Okay, so there you have your pocket. Now we're going to bring in the punch board. Okay. And give ourselves that little, so that we can pull out what we put inside. Okay, so this pocket measures 6, right? 6 1/4. Okay, so you're gonna line up your gusset edge here at 3 1/8, and that is gonna give you your center point. Okay, so that first that first score line there at 3 1/8, and that'll give you your first center point. And just punch all the way through, just like that. Okay, so now is when we get to put it in our book. Okay, so set this one aside. Bring in your F piece that does not have your pockets, unless you want to put everything together first. No, we can't. We can't. I apologize. We can't. Okay, so you're going to open that up. Okay, so you have your fold over here, and it is going to go along. Let me just consult, just to be sure. Yes. Okay, so it is going to go along that score line, and you don't want to have it right up against that score line. You want to be about 1/8 of an inch away. Now, let me just, oh yes, we are going to have to trim, because you don't want this piece to be bigger. Okay, so you can see here, you don't want that piece to be bigger than the piece it's underneath, on top of. Okay, so we're gonna have to trim that off. Okay, so we're going to, oh wait, there's a gusset. Don't trim. Oh, silly me. That was close. That was close. We don't have to trim. I thought I messed up again. So let's do that again. You want to be about 1/8 of an inch away, just so that you have a little leeway for folding, okay? So about 1/8 of an inch away, peel, oopsie, and stick, okay? And then give it a burnish. Open it up and give it a burnish, okay? Same thing on the other side, that you're going to open it up and you're going to have your 1/2 inch with the tape on it to the right. Okay, same thing. Stay about 1/8 of an inch away. Line that up. We'll have to erase. I forgot to tell you to erase your score lines, or your lines. Okay, so just make sure that that is all lined up nicely and that you are happy with it, and just start peeling and sticking. Okay, so there you go. Lift that, fold that over, give it a burnish. Okay, open that up, and my apologies if you were watching this. Just erase. It's not a big deal. You're gonna not see most of that anyway. Okay, just erase your pencil marks. There you go. Now, okay. Okay, so now let's go move on. See, now it's starting to stay closed. You got enough weight in there that everything is starting to stay closed. Okay, so now let's bring in the next pieces. Okay, so now we're gonna have to keep this. Let's do that. Let's keep this fairly together. Okay, there's our folio. Let's have that over there. Okay, so now you have H, and H, and that is going to go on this flap, okay? This flap right here. So I might have to trim a little because I changed the measurement, which it will be changed. Everything will be right in your book, or in your cutting guide. So we're gonna bring back in the punch board, okay, and we're gonna line your score line to the 2. You can line your cut edge up to the 2.5 if you like, but I always line my score line up to the 2. Okay, and you're gonna punch. Flip it over. Do the same thing. Line your score line up to the 2. Okay, do the same thing on the other one. Score line up to the 2. I guess we should have checked and made sure, because if I have to trim this, I'm going to have to redo this part. Okay, then we're going to bring in cutting surface, a ruler with a metal edge, and a knife. You can use your trimmer if you have enough guts, but I don't. I like to use my knife. And you're just going to cut off between those punches. Okay, giving you a little bit of a pocket. Okay, same thing on the other one. Okay, and then just trim off. Don't give a lot of pressure, just enough to cut. Go 2 or 3 times, because otherwise you'll tear your paper, and then you'll get mad because you're gonna have to do it all over again. Okay, so then we're gonna do the same thing. We are going to miter between that X, where those score lines meet, intersect. Do that on both pockets. Okay. I'm doing good at remembering where all these pieces go. I almost forgot where this one went. Okay. Fold and burnish both pieces. I sense this video is going to take all day and half the night to load, because I'm betting we're already well over a half an hour. Okay. Okay, so bring back in your folio. And now I'm gonna flip things so that it's easier. You can leave it like this and you can put it on here like this, but I'm gonna flip it upside down, okay, and put it on upside down so that I can make sure that I have everything lined up nicely. Okay. Now, you may have to do a little trimming. I'm sorry I already popped my head in the way there. And if things don't line up, I'm just going to try the other piece, because sometimes it just is enough. Ooh, this one's way bigger. I may have to do some trimming here. I guess this is going on the inside, so we can just move it in a bit. Sorry about my head, everyone. Okay, get everything all lined up like that. You always want to make sure when you're cutting that you use the same place to cut. Like if you have a little bit, like I have a guillotine trimmer. So there's a little bit of a space where where you line things up, right? So if you're going to use the edge, the middle, or the outside edge, you always want to make sure to use that same edge when you cut everything, because that tiny little bit makes a difference. I don't know about other trimmers, like if I use my Stampin' Up! Trimmer for cutting, it's not as bad. Yeah, there's quite the hangover there, but that's okay. I am okay with that. I will suffer. Okay, so then you're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same thing like that to the other one. Okay, try and get that lined up. Maybe if I line it up this way, I'll be able to get it lined up better. Okay, so like that. Line up your cut edges. I'll have a little hangover probably on the, but that's okay. It's the inside of your folio. Okay, happy with that. Okay, so now, and as you see, you got flips and flaps and everything stays okay. So there, that's how it is, just like so. So that isn't too bad. That actually doesn't look too bad at all. I'm okay with that. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so now we're going to bring in, we have the two eye pieces, and the two eye pieces, as you can see, mirror each other. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure what the measurement is for cutting that piece. So we are going to measure in Okay, so from this edge here, okay, you're going to measure in right along the edge, make a little tick mark at 2.5. Okay, so make your little tick mark right there, okay, at 2.5. Okay, and then, maybe I got that one wrong, just a minute. No, I'm wrong. This one is 2. Measure in just 2. Okay, so from your cut edge, you're going to measure in just 2 inches. Okay, so make your tick mark at 2. And then on the bottom, you're going to go up from your score line, and that measurement is going to be 2.5. Okay, so you just measure up 2.5. Okay, so if you can do it, you can put these two together so that your score lines are on the same edge, right? You're going to do like this. If you can put this in your trimmer and trim them at the same time. If you're not comfortable, you're going to do the same measurements on the other one. Okay, so then once it comes time to, you just line up those tick marks in your trimmer track, cutting track, okay, just like that. I like this new trimmer because it's got a much better cut. Okay, so now you should have 2 mirrored pieces. Okay, erase your pencil marks. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, erase your pencil marks. Now we are going to taper that one corner, or miter, sorry. Okay, just trim between or cut between right through that X. Okay, out of the way. Fold and burnish. Okay. Fold and burnish. Okay, there is, if anybody is coming in late here, we are working on the National Scrapbook Day project. I'm not sure why anybody would be coming in late. You gotta watch the video from the beginning. Okay, so there you have it, but they're actually gonna go this way. Okay, this is going to be your mirrored images. So this one is gonna go to the front and this one is gonna go on the back in the very same place. Okay, so we are going to bring back in our book. Okay, your front, you open everything up. Okay, open all of your pieces. So this is going to go right on what would be A on the inside. Okay, you're going to line that up right along the score line. You can touch the score line, but don't go over it. Okay, just like that. Peel back a little piece and then fold that back in and peel the rest. Okay, and then do the same thing on the bottom. Okay, just like that. Okay, close everything. Okay, fold everything over, open up that same piece on the back and do the same thing. Line that up right along your score line, but not touching it, like you want to just kiss it. You don't want to go over. Okay, peel that tape backing. Okay, peel and stick. Okay, peel and stick. Okay, now comes some of the smaller pieces. That's most of the big pieces. Now we got the small pieces. Okay, so now we're going to bring in K and L. Okay, this is going to be your pocket. Okay, so you're going to miter those 2 intersecting score lines. fold and burnish. You're going to taper your L piece, which is going to be your flap over top. Okay, so fold and burnish all of your score lines. Okay, give them a little inspect. Perfect. Okay, same thing for L. Fold, burnish. Okay, bring in your album or your folio, open that up, and this is going to go right on the front of F. Okay, so don't open anything else. You're just going to open that flap and you're going to put your pocket right on the front of F. If you want that, if you want to have the one with the, oh, never mind, we can't switch because the other one, sorry, my bad, never mind, no switching, no switchy. Oh, it looks like I've paper cut myself already. That's interesting. Didn't even feel it. Okay. Okay, and then if you want, you can open that up, right up, and give it the burnish, okay? Just like that, okay? Close that up. And then I'm gonna flip it around upside down. Actually, I'm gonna open that up and flip it around upside down. And that's where you put your top flap on, okay? Just like that. Make sure everything is straight. Peel your tape backing. Give it a burnish. Okay. Oh, that scared me. I thought I put it on backwards. Okay, so now you have your M1, M2, and M3. Okay. M1, M2, M3. This is going to be a stack pocket. Okay, so once I figure out where I've put that stack pocket, which I think is exactly where I thought it was. Yes. Okay, so you're going to take your M1 piece and you're going to miter your corners like so. Okay, you're going to take your M2 pieces, and I didn't tell you to score because if you were taping before, I didn't want you to put tape on them because it's actually just, okay, so we're going to mark up 1/2 inch. Okay, so just mark up 1/2 inch from the bottom, okay? And I'm just going to put a little line right there, okay? Just so that I know where I'm cutting, okay? So measure up 1/2 inch on both pieces. Just put a little pencil mark there. You can go all the way through, but you don't need to. Okay, so then you're just going to take your scissors and you're just going to cut right straight across to that score line. Okay, just like that. Okay, then you're going to cut on a little angle, just like we were tapering up to that mark, like so. Okay, so you can see there how it's done. Okay, you're going to do that same thing on both pieces. So right to that score line. Okay, and then it doesn't matter your angle because this is going to tuck inside. So you could make a big angle like that and it wouldn't really make much difference because it's just to tuck inside, making it a stack pocket. Okay, so do the same thing for your other one, your M2 and M3 pieces are both the same. Okay. It's time to get new snips. Ends of my scissors are getting bent. Okay, just snip that. Okay. My puppy is up here whining because she needs to go outside and I'm in the middle of a video. So she has to wait. Okay, so those there. Okay, so now you're going to fold and burnish. So fold and burnish on all of your score lines. Okay. And I'm betting you can hear the other dog barking outside. I can barely hear her, but in the last video, she was out there and and I could hear her plain as day. I giggled. So I apologize if you hear her in the background. She is outside barking at people. Okay, so there's your stack pocket, okay? So we are going to take our book, we're going to open it up, okay? And it is going to be right here, okay, on G. I had to make sure. Okay, so you're going to place your first, which is the M, which is the entirely full pocket, okay? It is going to go down here, and you're going to line up your edge, your scored edges. And so you're going to have a tiny little bit of space between your score line and your pocket, okay? So you're going to line up this edge, your right edges, okay? Giving you a little space by the score line. Okay, so then you can just peel like so. Okay, peel the rest there. Okay, give it a burnish. Okay, and then you're gonna start, start stacking your pockets. So you're gonna slide in your M2 piece, okay, and it's not gonna go any farther, like those, that's what that's there for. So you can peel your tape and slide that in. Okay. It is not going to let your pocket go any farther if you did that correctly. So there you go. Okay, and then do the same thing with M3. Okay, I know I say it's not going to let, but I still dry fit. It's just habit. Come on. Okay. So then you just slide that in there. Just like so. Give it a burnish. Okay, so there you have that one. Okay, so now close this all up again, get that out of the way. So now you're gonna have, now it'll sit, I think. So now you should have a whole bunch, I think, of N pieces. You should have 4 N pieces. Yes, okay, you have 4 N pieces. Now I've prepped them, and I've also rounded my corners, okay? So you're going to cut these and round your corners, and then fold, burnish, and taper. No, we're not gonna taper. Just a minute. Are we gonna taper? We are not going to taper, because then you can use that as maybe a small little journal spot if you're, you know, for whatever happened in that, you know, like whether it was a trip to Mexico, you could say Mexico, whatever city you visit, right? Have a little journaling spot there. Okay. So you're just going to fold and burnish on all of your score lines. Then bring in your book again. Get rid of some of this garbage. Okay, bring in your book. Okay, now these pieces are going to go, you're going to flip this open. Okay, you're going to have magnets or your figure 8 string there. So you're going to open this to the top of your G piece. Okay, so right here to the top of your G piece. I guess if you, no, top of your G piece. And I'm going to flip it upside down again, at least for the first one. Okay, and you're going to just center that a little bit between the score line and your edge. You're not going to have much space on either side, but just so that you have a little. Okay, and then you can peel and stick and burnish. Okay, then I can now flip it back to the normal side. Okay. Okay, and then open that up, and then your next one is going to go right up against. You're going to butt that right up against, just like that. And then I'm just going to bring it and make sure, yep, it's straight. So you're just going to butt that up against, and then you can peel and stick. If it works better to just continue going upside down, then just continue doing it upside down. Okay, open that up, give it a burnish. Okay, same thing. Slide that in there and then butt it up against there. And then just give yourself that dry fit. Just pull them, hold firmly, pull them down. Make sure that it's straight. And having that little space on either side also gives you a little bit of leeway here. Okay, so there we have. Okay, lift it up and peel your backing. Please let me know how I do on these videos, what you like, what you don't like, what you think I should change, or how you think I should change it, because I really would like input. I hate doing videos. So I just feel like I'm babbling along, saying nothing, talking to no one, and saying useless information. So please let me know what you think. Okay, do the same thing with the last one, making sure that it is straight. Okay. Ta-da. Okay, fold, burnish. Okay. Now we are going to bring in piece O, which is a very skinny pocket. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. You're going to miter through that intersection there. Fold and burnish. Be careful that you don't, it's a small piece. Be careful that you don't fold it, burnish it somewhere where you're not supposed to. Like I say, it's a small piece. Okay, burnish. Okay, and then that is going to go right down at the very bottom. Okay, same thing, right down at the very bottom. Okay, just like that. And then you'll be able to tuck a photo mat or, you know, something, a journal card or something in there to close that waterfall so that it doesn't catch on. Now you're going to hear my dog barking. So that it doesn't catch when you close everything. Like that. So what you would do is tuck a Memories and More card in there, see, like that, and then when you close everything it stays. These are held together, like I said, with magnets, or you could use the brads with the string. Okay, So there's that. Okay, so now I think we are playing with more. Yep. So these can close up, and now we're going to bring in our insert here. Okay, so the album is actually just about done. We are just about done. So the last few pieces, okay, so you've got your R piece. I got the measurements on these ones. Your R piece, we will do that one and get it out of the way. Okay, this is just simply a photo mat flap. Okay, so that is going to go, so your insert goes this way, so you have your opening to the left, okay, opening to the left. So this flap, now there's no right or wrong place to put these flaps, but I don't want it right up against an edge, so I'm going to come up about 1/4 of an inch on both sides, and this is going to go along the cut edge, okay, not the scored edge. Oy vey. Oh, macaroni. That moved on me. Something fierce. So you're going to get to see my other handy dandy fun tool. This is undo. You want the yellow label, not the green label. And all you do is just make everything wet, and it unsticks the tape. So then you just got to flail things about a little bit so that that dries. It doesn't take very long to dry. So we'll put that, whoops, put that back on there and flail that about. I ripped the paper a little bit. Okay, so let's try that again. So you can see that dried just like that. Okay, so let's try that again. R, about 1/4 of an inch up. This is why you hold things firmly. Okay, firm. Okay, lift that up and start peeling. There, okay. So then, okay, so that's that. So you would flip it this way. Okay, so we're going to flip that. And we're going to put the other R piece in basically the same spot. So you're going to be up about 1/4 of an inch. Okay. I'm going to open it up so I can kind of sort of see. Okay, so up about 1/4 of an inch. It doesn't have to be exact because you're not going to see one and the other at the same time. Okay, peel. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, so there is our insert. So you got your R pieces on. So now we're going to do some more trimming with our trimmer. Okay, so you have your P piece. So you can fold and burnish on both of those. Okay, fold and burnish. Set aside. Now you have your Q piece. Flip those over to the bumpy side and you're going to do the same thing, okay? So, but this one you're only going to have on each of your scored edges, okay? So your two sides and one short edge. You're going to trim, or you're going to make a mark half an inch, or at an inch, sorry. Make your pencil mark at 1 inch. And then on your edge that it is not scored, you're going to come in 1/2 inch, okay? So now we're going to bring in our trimmer. And we're going to trim both of those. And again, I'm sorry if my head gets in the way. Okay, so you're going to line it up at 1 inch. And then just trim between those two pencil marks. Just like so. It goes a lot faster when you have those pencil marks. And you don't have to try and see. where the right measurement is on your trimmer. So I'm trying to move my head out of the way once I get all lined up. Okay, 1 inch. Okay, and now this one is just a 1/2 inch. Make sure you don't, again, with those lines, make sure you don't go to 1 inch. Ah, so I went too far. That's okay. That is easily fixed with the tape. Okay. And if you don't go too far, these scissors are just a pain in the derriere. There. Okay. If you don't go quite far enough, you just come in and you trim with your scissors. Okay, so set that off to the side and do your other piece. Okay, so at the 1 inch mark, okay, just from pencil mark to pencil mark. Okay, and this is where your 2 smaller acetate pieces are going to go, giving you a little bit of a window, just for a little bit of a fun element in your album or folio. Okay, so you can just set that aside. Okay, and then just, you don't want to pull because you don't want to have those fuzzy edges. I have those fuzzy edges anyway, because I need to put in a new blade. Okay, just give it a little snip. And now, okay, so now we're going to take these, let's erase our pencil marks just because I don't think we need to on this one. Although I didn't think we needed to on the other one. I don't think we need to on this one, so we won't. Okay, so now you're going to bring in those 2 smaller acetate pieces. And I only used 1/8 of an inch score tape on there because they are pretty much right around there. So we can peel our tape backing. You guys will probably do it with much more ease than me. I'm trying to keep this video short, probably not working. Okay, so then you're going to just barely come over. Okay. And give that a burnish. Make sure you have a nice, secure, nice bond with your tape. I don't know what the right word is, but we'll use bond. Okay, so there's one. Okay, bring in the next one. I always dry fit just for me.